Okay, if you see in the Odoo Docker Hub, we can see that we can mount a volume like this. We can mount a local folder and to be considered as a folder inside our Docker container later. All right, and then how to do this mounting from within our Docker compose file, right? So let's go ahead and edit our Docker compose YML file. All right, actually there is a sample to do that also. All right, this one. So we add a new entry below the web service definition, which is called volumes. So we add down here under the port section, volumes, right? Volumes, and then the definition of the volume itself is, right, the local folder or the host folder which we want to mount to the container folder. So let's say we want to mount the MNT extra add-ons inside the container to be the local folder called, let's say, add-ons right now. Add-ons, okay, is mounted to the MNT extra add-ons. Right. This is how we do that. So we define the local host folder, and then the second part is the container folder. Right. The same thing to the config, for example. So if you want to make the config file or the config folder to be accessed locally in our host computer, then we just simply make the mounting volume here. So the etc Odoo folder inside the container will be mounted to the local config folder here in our host computer, right? Okay, and the third common things to do is to mount the farlib Odoo folder, which will contain the file store, the session files that Odoo needed, and then mount it to something like this. All right, this is the Odoo web data internal volume, which is defined later here, right? Actually, we can set this to Docker volume like this, or a local folder inside the host computer like this. So we can do this one and also this one. All right, so let's try to make the third volume mounting, which is, let's do it like the example. Odoo web data is mounted to farlib Odoo, and then we must specify the volume which is defined outside this service definition, so it is going to be equal level with the service, right? So we create volumes here, and then the definition of the volume itself is just specify the name of the volume that we want to make, right? Odoo web data, right? Okay, that's it. The next part is to mount the DB data in this example. So when we specify the volume for the DB data, then the Postgres server will use this volume to store the database, right? Not inside the Docker system. Okay, let's try this now. So we mount the add-ons folder to the MNT extra add-on, and then the config to etc Odoo, and then the Odoo web data to farlib Odoo, which is a volume that we define here, right? All right, let's quit, and then let's start the Docker right now. Okay, just execute Docker compose, and then the name of the our ML file, which is right now Docker compose ML, so we don't have to specify the -f file name. Right, just run it with a command. Oh, you can see the etc odoo.conf is not exist yet because our Docker is currently mounting the etc odoo to our config file in the host folder. So we have to make sure that it exists already. All right, here inside the config folder. So we simply can copy this file, copy odoo.conf into the config file. Right, so it will exist in the config folder, right? This one. Okay, let's start it again. Okay, that's it. It's already running using the config which is inside the etc Odoo, but it is now mounted to our local config folder. Okay, let's see the second folder mounting, which is add-ons. All right, we have the add-on folders here. Actually, this add-on folder will be mounted to the MNT extra add-ons. Right, so everything that we put inside here will be appears also here in the container. So right now, let's go to the add-ons folder, and let's try to look for an add-on that is installable inside our container. Let's see, let's check for the free add-ons now. Okay, let's try this one. It's like interesting. Okay, this is for version 13. Just right click this one and copy link address, and we download it from our host machine using curl or widget is enough to download that add-on here. Okay, just wait a moment. All right, the add-on name is this one, so we have to rename this. Move for e into this .zip. Right, so we have the add-ons inside our add-on folder, and then unzip this. All right, so we have many add-ons actually inside this zip folder. All right, we can remove the zip file. Okay, so we have many add-ons actually inside our add-ons folder. All right, now let's try to run the Docker once again. Docker compose app, and make sure that our add-ons is available to install from our Odoo instance.